days.
And
7
then you
days.
too can live like Carl.
To indeed.
Living the good
I
life.
deserve that. I deserve that.
Yeah, to indeed. But yeah, and all this stuff that Wino Willie and me, we A-likes, man. We like a lot of nerd stuff, but yeah, we'll still punch him in the fucking face, yo. Yeah. And we make it home to our kids. Yeah,
you don't think Primo Jab or I will punch somebody in the face? I got comic books. He's a collector. We'll fuck some shit up.
But your mom.
I'm a lover, baby.
Yeah. He probably thought Beyblade was
okay,
whack
well, I'll
too.
fuck some shit up.
Yeah, I know you'll fuck some shit up.
I got people that do my work for me.
Primo Jab. Yeah, he did your mom. That was hard coming out that first season. Yo, pause. Word. We already know Carl's gonna fuck some shit up. You want to see a man bleed out on his front lawn. Yeah, you want to shoot somebody and make him bleed out, yo. You are now listening to the Abyss Podcast with Carl the White Monk, Primo Jab, and Lukey Cage. Yeah, I was doing like the wildest. I was doing the wildest neck rolls in the whole entire solar system.
No, you weren't.
Anyway, episode 106. Yeah, I was. Episode issue 106 of the Abyss Podcast. We got a very special guest here. He's dear to my heart. Know what I'm saying? But first of all, it's the dope shit you got on, Carl. What's up?
Hey, yes, rocking our merch.
This would help too.
True indeed, man. Oh shit! We gotta go into it crazy. It's a Razor's Edge shirt right there. Shout out to Rome Street from Primo Jab.
Man. Yeah, man. Shout out Rome Streets and Future Wave for making a super ill project such as Razor's Edge with special shout outs
to our
crazy guy. Yeah, ain't it dope? It's one of my favorite projects, man. Absolutely. But major shout out to Future Wave, man, because he came through, man. He said, yo, I'm going to find this shirt for you. I'm going to get it to you, man. So, and he got it to me, man. So salute to Future Wave, man. Yeah, man.
Future Wave's a good dude. He's been a good dude. I'll talk about him a little bit. I don't know. Do we just jump in?
We're on. Lukey's going to finish intros.
Yeah, let Lukey do his thing, man. We're going to bring you in illustriously.
No. Go ahead. Talk about him. I want you to talk. Keep it organic.
All right. So Future Wave, right? Like, I started building with Future Wave in like 2019. Okay. And Future Wave has been like quiet as kept, like behind the scenes, like one of my biggest allies, like just listening to stuff. We've been sharing stuff back and forth. The homie AJ Hall, who does a bunch of the breaks, like I put
drummer
AJ Hall onto Future Wave, and he knew about Future Wave, but like made the introduction. All of Sun Tzu and the Wave guy, AJ Hall drums.
Yeah, AJ Hall is an incredible drummer. Shout out to him.
Yeah, he's like a big secret weapon for like a lot of folks. Genius. But like he's a huge I would make an argument I'm gonna be the first person to say this. AJ Hall is gonna go down in history as one of the people who like made a significant change in like current hip hop. Like I think his ear for breaks, his ears for drums, and then his live playing pedigree. He plays with a lot of folks down here in New Orleans. He's truly tapped into the culture and a fan. And because of that fandom, he puts like so much of himself behind those sounds. And for me, as someone who like is a producer and just like a nerd in general, like hearing someone who like you can tell they sat down and were like, they use this exact gear to get this sound, and then able to take it to like this point where he's, making sure like the kicks knocking the snares, like smacking away that only like a drummer would understand, but then it translates perfectly to producers. Like, so me and Future Wave kind of like, I was like I got like a very, like when AJ was like figuring his drum sound out, he sent me a pack. And I like sent it to Future Wave, and we both were like geeking out over it. And a lot of beats that I made over the last like 4 or 5 years came from that. And then bouncing those back and forth with Future Wave. Also, shout out to Future Wave. He's like really fucking nice at Street Fighter. He's really nice in Street Fighter.
Real quick, I want to add on to AJ Hall and his abilities, because all of those things that you said are 100% true, and I am a drummer. And I will tell you, it's also the production in what he does with those beats. People that don't do actual live music recording may not really understand all of the equipment that can be used and should be used. And then he takes it a step further and adds such creativity to the way he tunes in certain drums, the way he adds certain effects, gives an overall feel to the drums. So it's not just that he creates these really tight, precise breaks and these beautiful beats in a ton of different styles, Afro-Cuban, all kinds of different shit. I've heard him do drum and bass stuff. I've heard him do all kinds of cool shit. But he really creates a soundscape for the drum pack that he's sending out, and that can't be understated.
How did that connection come about, yo?
Hey, hold on. Before you do that, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't realize it, we're talking to WINO WILLY, the illustrious WINO WILLY. Oh yeah, Lukey, come on, man.
I mean, shit. Yo, you know, I got kicked off here. I got kicked off here, though. I got kicked the fuck off, yo.
No, but you just wanted him to keep on going,
you chose
which was
organics.
Cool. Yeah, you chose organics. You said it's organic. But no, it was good. It was a good choice.
What issue is this, Lukey? Do you
know?
This
is 106.
That's
he got that off. It is 106. Right. He got that off.
Yo, I was interested in hearing about that. You know what I'm saying? The connection with Future Wave and him. And I'm interested. How did you get with
Future Wave is incredible.
Episode 106. WINO WILLY. Yeah.
There you go. That's more likely shit, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Like it. We just went into popping circumstances, man.
We did the Jamaican air horns for you and everything, my dude. So boom, we ready.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's
a long time coming.
I'm a big fan. Yeah, Lukey, we've known each other for fucking 11 years at this point.
Yeah, man, check it out.
We did shit. Yeah, I want to say it's been. I'm like sitting here doing the math right now. It's been a long time. I've known since before Porno Flows. So that's
word. But yo, you was like
we'll get into it. We'll get into it
for a minute. You was gone for a minute. Yeah. We go back to AJ Hall. You was gone for a minute, son. Cause like boom, I try to hit you on the SoundCloud because of that grown up calls. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Tory
grown up calls. Yeah, I was like, why hasn't nobody rapped over this? This shit gave me that feel. And I heard the original song before, but I was like, yo, this right here, what you did with it was like fucking amazing. I ended up doing a song called Thundercats, and I messaged you.
Yeah,
you wasn't there.
Yeah.
You was just moving through.
I was not on SoundCloud, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, but I messaged you on Instagram too, and you wasn't on Instagram either. Like you was like nowhere to be found. And one day you hit me up because when you got back on, like, I'm back. I was like, yo, where this dude been? That did this song like 8 months ago. Yeah, word. Yeah. So was you like moving from Philly to New Orleans or something?
When you hit me about that, man, I was probably just shaking and moving in Philly, honestly. Like with social media shit, like I didn't really get on my back on social media shit. I don't know, like maybe 2018, like after I moved to New Orleans. If y'all hear like a little, you might hear like my daughter run through here in a second.
This is up.
Awesome.
My kid be on here too.
It's bath time.
Yeah, we love the kids, man.
She can't hear us cuss, so it's all good.
No, yeah, you can't. I got the headphones on. She good. You want to say hi?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on,
say hi. You know, my daughter say hi. Yeah.
Yep, JC pops in all the time.
You want to say hi? You gonna say hey?
Hi.
What's up? She looking. She was like, yeah. Her and JC look like cousins, bro. I like.
And they do look like cousins. They really do.
They look like cousins. All right, you're good. All right, she's gonna be 2 in November.
Oh man, nice. Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
All right, yeah. So if you see her, she might sprint in down here right now. We try to handle bath time. But nah, I've known Lukey since I went to So jump back to AJ Hall. I'm gonna finish that story up, and I'll just start from the fucking beginning because
We got it.
there's a lot, right? So AJ Hall, he was based in New Orleans for like maybe like 6 years or so. He plays with this dude John Cleary, who's like a big like New Orleans funk artist.
Okay.
And my wife's grandfather is George Porter Jr. from the Meters, who's been, they've been sampled like, Large Professor. And she, lo and behold, like when I found out who she was, it was like a big geek moment for her because I was telling her about like breaks that her grandfather's on. Like the biggest joint that she's probably played on that folks know is like One Thing by A. Marie.
Oh,
that,
right.
Like,
wow.
drum break and like that tune. Yeah, that's the Meters.
Yeah.
Or
That's
a hand clapping song, or Public Enemy. What's the name of that joint? Not Public Enemy #1. I'm forgetting the name of this joint, but there's a joint that samples the Meters very prominently. It's like a really, really fire ass beat. It's one of my favorite beats of all time. But he plays in that scene, and he also is like an incredible producer in his own right. And there's this dude in New Orleans named Gene Stanza that he did a tape with, and we just ran into each other. Like I was bigging him up, and he was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing some drum breaks." Because he played all the drums and sampled himself on that record. He also played with like Nesby Flips and Currency and like people like that. Like he's like
the Jet Life
has like a pedigree. Yeah, he has a pedigree. And just kind of like, so we do a beat night in New Orleans. We used to. We don't really do that anymore, but we did a beat night in New Orleans called I'm blanking on this shit right now. Why am I? It's been a long time.
I remember y'all was doing this beat night.
We did a beat night it's at Sea Cave, and it's really running my mind. Counter Sessions. There we go. Counter Sessions. And he came through, played like a crazy beat set, and then just like left, like was like, "Hey, I got these drum breaks," and left me with like a flash drive.
Wow.
And then pandemic happens. I cooked up a bunch of beats for Danielson with those breaks. Which y'all will hear some of those. Fuck it. I don't know if I can announce it. I don't know if I can announce it. It's gonna come. Yeah, it's coming. I don't know if the project is, the vinyl should be coming soon, but the singles are out now.
Okay.
The singles are out now.
Yeah.
Kick the Tree.
Doesn't it come out Friday? It comes out Friday?
No, a single of it. A single is out now. Yeah. Single's out right now.
So
Kick the Tree.
We're in the future since it comes out Tuesday.
Yeah, we're in the future.
So Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, so Friday. So another single's going to be out by the time that this comes out, and then the next week after that, I think the vinyl drops. But I'm not exactly sure. I'm not allowed to announce that.
Exclusive. WINO WILLY. This is what's happening.
Allegedly.
Thanks, Daniel, son.
Nah, I can tell y'all with it because I'd run down and get it, but I'm not gonna get in trouble with it. So, the vinyl is in hand, and it's gonna be announced. Probably by the time this episode comes out, the drop date will be announced for the vinyl.
Nice.
For Gree. It's a album I got with Danielson. We're gonna talk about that.
What's it called?
Gree. GRIGRI. It's a Gree bag is like a mojo bag. It's a term from the
curses and stuff.
Yeah, yes, and it's like protect you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that was like, we basically, because he has the joints that he did the Moonshine mix, and I'm a huge fan of those projects, and I kind of just like tapped in to that kind of lineage, like that strangeness, and brought like the culture that I'm steeped in currently in New Orleans to that. I didn't use a bunch of New Orleans samples, but like as far as like interludes and skits, it's all New Orleans based stuff. So it's I'm looking forward to it a lot. Like Danielson, he went ballistic on that project, and I wouldn't put it out if I didn't think I could stand up, against anybody that he's, beats that he's rapping on. I'm talking my shit. Like I just have a good show.
As you should.
Have a good showing on this project.
Please don't
have a good showing on this project.
Yeah, you shouldn't have any sort of doubt at this point, man. I mean, we're going to talk about it some more, But I mean, you're one of those illustrious names. That's why I made Lukey go back and give you your proper introduction, man. Like you out here, you an assassin in the underground, man.
I appreciate
and
it.
you a name that people are like, lustfully coveting. Like, oh shit, I got a WINO WILLY beat. Like that means something. So yeah, don't ever feel that. Your daughter can walk around anywhere and hold her head proud. Anywhere in the 5
I
boroughs,
appreciate
she's
that.
known.
I appreciate that.
Man.
I'm envious. This is coming out after the cookout joint. Like I wish that I was Yeah, I'm envious.
So envious.
Hopefully
Me too.
hopefully there's a 3 and I can come to 3, but I'm upset I'm not going to be able to come to 2. I'm going to New York like literally 2 weeks after, so it's like
wow.
Ain't that crazy?
It's frustrating. Yeah, it's frustrating, but I'm in that point now where I'm going to be in Atlanta. I'm starting to like make those like I'm finally at a place where I can start popping up. Like there's too many shows like, and it's too close. New Orleans, it's like a $40 flight.
Well, we're all here in Atlanta, so
yeah.
Controller
So
Rise. I done seen him perform.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to Controller Rise. I performed at Controller Rise in 2019. I'm in the truck. I'm in discussions with Stolen Drums right now to come back, and I'm going to try to come
Stolen Drums, man. That's my guy, man. He's a good dude.
Great dude. Good father, but great dude. He's like a huge influence on a lot of stuff that I cooked after like 2017. I really appreciated his approach to how he would layer his sounds. And I learned a lot from the videos and the visuals that he would do. So like he has this great, I'm gonna give him his flowers real quick. Like he has this group called Sidechain Society where it's a producer like online, like Discord kind of community. And he just like, but not on some like weird shit. Like, there's some folks that they got these Discords, man. I wasn't even hip. I like stumbled into some where folks is just on some real strange behavior. And his Discord is not that. It's just it's frankly like a bunch of dudes who are making beats who are just like trying to figure out like how to get digital shit to sound analog, but not realizing that digital and like there's none of what we're doing is analog. It's fucking variations.
Right. You're never unattainable with digital.
It's unattainable, but we're all looking, to sound like whatever. And Stolen Drums is Moses in this bitch, and he just like holds the tablets and is like, follow, this is the way. And with great results. So shout out to him. So salute that man.
Salute to Stolen Drums, man.
But yeah, like I was saying with Lukey, I met Lukey when I was going to Morehouse in 2013. I was playing at A3C. Yeah, man. I played at A3C. And there was this like show there was 2 shows. I met him at Wonder Root for a joint.
Okay, shout out Wonder Root. Absolutely.
And then there was another one on Edgewood, and I really don't remember. I don't even know if that place is even open anymore. But there was a spot. He performed this joint at Edgewood. It was like a bunch of folks, and I was like DJing the whole night. And Lukey made an impression because he was just like, I was playing like fucking. I was doing like a beat set. Like this was like before niggas was rocking the 404. Like for well, that's not fair. That's not fair. Niggas was rocking the 404 like LA, but like, but in Atlanta, niggas was not rocking the 404. So I was like doing like a beat set, and Lukey would like just like gave me the salute. It was like it was a big deal because it was very early into me playing shit out. Maybe like my 5th live show or some shit like that.
Bro, I don't even remember this shit. It's that long ago.
I got
2013.
I got an elephant memory. Yeah, bro. I was gonna say this is years ago, but I remember it made an impact on me, so I remember it.
Word. I was with Little Dirty. I was with Little Dirty.
Yeah. Yes. And there was another bull, but I don't remember the bull's name, bro.
That's my homie Els getting it.
Yeah.
Els Dizzy didn't want to get on the get locked up all the time.
He's locked up.
He's out now. He got out right before Rome Street concert, so he's good. So yeah.
Oh, good for him. Good for him. Welcome home to him. Hopefully, I don't know what my man did. I don't want to put myself on favorites there. Like, you know, but all right,
all right,
good,
all right.
Good for him.
Very not low key. Playing beats to me is one of the most impressive things you can do. But if you play beats and rap at the same time, I think you are a god. So when I see y'all do technicians, I see you do a live, like your live streams. I think that like actually it made you go up even more. Bro, I'm really impressed about how you can remember what button does what. Word. I can't even do my fire stick right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Word.
man. Yeah, that whole shit is like, I don't know. For me, beat making is meditation. Like, to not sound like pretentious, like I always tell when folks ask me like my methodology or like my approach to production, it's part spirituality, part like science, part math shit. Like I have like a process of when I go through sounds. I think most folks who are involved in the culture, like in hip hop, when they produce, it's coming from a space that maybe they don't even realize. It's like connecting them to what I like call the source, right?
Absolutely.
There is a like our consciousness as people.
Yeah.
And you know, so like for me, it's like I believe like in my ancestors coming from before me and doing things, and then them not being able to complete it, and then it being charged to my descendants to do and to finish, right? Like I had my great uncle, my uncle. He's not really my great uncle. He's my grandfather's generation. Rufus Harley. He played on the Roots record, the "Do You Want More," like that horror intro you hear on that joint. Yeah. It's actually bagpipes, right? It's a bagpipe solo. Yeah, it's a bagpipe solo, and that's him playing on that shit. He's just like they invited him to the studio. He like played with Sun Ra and a bunch of like jazz legends, and
Damn.
so for me, like a lot of like when you hear like a lot of the bugged out sounds, like you listen to some shit like Pro Dillinger Project, like a lot of that is like free jazz and like really like just Pharoah Sanders, like really bugged out astral like crazy shit, like 15-minute records of people just going crazy like over solos and shit. And I grew up like consuming these records because you know I had ancestors and relatives who played that shit. So for me, it's not like, oh, look, like, listen how bugged out this is. Like, that's cool. But like, part of it is paying like respect to those who came before me. So,
indeed.
That, you know, man, it's obvious. It's obvious that you got that scholarship to you. Number one, since you're from the house, I feel that. But like, honoring your ancestors and knowing just the talk that you talking with the spiritual connection and knowing that the energy come from the source and the lineage that you have that you've already mentioned. I mean, between your wife's family and your family, I mean, yo, man, you an illustrious dude out here, man. I'm really upset Lukey didn't give you your intro the way he was supposed to.
I want to hear him talk. I
just had to pause. I'm gonna let you talk some more, man. Forgive me.
And honestly,
I'm enamored with this. This is amazing.
Enamored is the word. By you articulating what you're saying to us, made me understand how I'm feeling right now. Because I have a song that I want to loop up, and it gives me that feeling. It gives me, you said the source. It feels like it comes from the source. And like, I sometimes do not like to record, or I like to loop up beats until I have that feeling. It comes to the force or the source. And then I'm like, and I gotta do it. I just gotta, and that's exactly, and that's God. Like, exactly. You know but I never really felt, I never really knew what that feeling was until the articulation of it right there.
Listen.
I think one thing that we got in common is the nerddom as well. The nerddom as well is, I think, is where we have the A likes as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So it's like, but even though it's, I think we cool, we nerds at the cool table. all four of us really are nerds at the cool table.
You like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like it's that part of it for me has always been fascinating because it's like not on some funny shit. Like it was always on stuff like I watched anime and I did all this shit, but if a nigga stepped to me, I'm beating the shit out you. So that's like how that's
why you watch anime.
It was one of those things. I was like, bro, you see this nigga Goku doing 100, bro? You don't think I'm out here doing push-ups? Like,
you step to me, I'm about to, bro. I'm about to. It's about to be a long day for you. Feel me? Don't charge up your spirit, you know, because you know
that's all. Like, you think I'm reading
80 times by then.
Can I make a wild stab real quick and say that some of that has to do with in the 80s and the early 90s, there were so many movies about nerds being cool or you know, coming into their own or defending themselves that a lot of us growing up as nerds decided, hey, yeah, I can do that shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I got picked on for that shit. People picked on elementary school and junior high school. It wasn't really like Mike told my homie Brock Landers, who was a felonious criminal, go Spider-Man your life away, go Star Wars your life away. Or like no one watches that shit. The Vampire D, what the fuck is that shit? Like, you watching this shit? No, let's go watch Boys in the Hood or some shit like that. Let's do this. It wasn't really popular.
Man.
Oh, you playing Sonic? You playing Sonic?
Hold on. Let me offer the other half of that coin. See, growing up, I'm from Chicago. I'm from Oak Park, the west side of Chicago. And I was a nerd because I wasn't gangbanging, because I wasn't selling crack. You understand what I'm saying?
That was enough to be labeled a nerd? That's crazy.
Exactly. You understand what I'm saying?
That's wild.
Because I wasn't out there savage thugging in the street. That was nerddom. If you weren't savage thugging in the street, yeah, I mean that's the culture.
So
I mean, straight up.
No, I might as well buy comic books because you were going to be considered a nerd regardless.
Number one, I love
trenches for real. I'm not gonna lie.
It is crazy. It is crazy, but that's a fact. Number one, I was in the comics. My pops put me on the comic books as a youngin, and I mean that never even factored into quote unquote nerddom. I just liked comic books. But you know, that didn't become something until later on. But what I'm saying is like, yeah, just like we're talking about, like as we're growing up, like those were the popular, quote unquote, popular kids were the kids that was out there. Oh man, you see, he got this big ass knot playing find a dollar, keep a dollar, pulling out knots of 20s and 100s and 50s in 8th grade, 7th grade, you know, 6th grade. You know what I mean? So you were a nerd if you wasn't with the shit like that. And then I became a hip hop head, which was a whole nother segment. That wasn't nerddom. That was just, I'm a hip hop head. But yeah, like I said, that's so when I hear the term nerd,
having X-Men trading cards.
I could not relate, bro. I was going to say, anybody come on here like, yeah, this nigga WINO WILLY. I was playing Pokemon, bro. Like, I was playing Pokemon.
My whole school was nerds, apparently. I don't.
Yeah, I was playing Pokemon.
I'm trying to tell you, it was different times, bro. Chicago different.
Yeah, bro. Chicago way different. That's really wild. For real. My man said, man. Yo, you a nerd. You a nerd if you don't gangbang.
You from Philly? You from Philly, right?
Yes, Philly, sir. Right? I'm gonna give do the fucking history and shit. I'm from I was born in Edison, so technically I would say my family lineage is from West Philly and North Philly.
Okay.
I personally was born in Edison, New Jersey.
Edison, New Jersey.
So I'm a Jersey can claim me when they do the Jersey thing. But like Philadelphia is the
Philly raised you
the root. Yeah, is the root though. Like if we were in the Olympics, so like niggas is playing on the World Cup teams. Like if Philadelphia had a World Cup team, I play for Philadelphia.
Hey yo, hold on though. Speaking of a quick segue. Did y'all see that the Bahamian basketball team is actually looking to be super ill right now? Google it. Yeah. Aiden is their center. Gordon, exactly. And then they got some other dude. I forgot who their other guard is. But yeah, they said the Bahamian team is looking like some monsters. But the USA still the best, though. Fuck whatever that runner said.
They might not make the Olympics. They have a chance.
Yeah, because they some bums. USA, baby.
They're not even in the World Cup.
What are we even talking about?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I like Aiden though, man. Aiden gets busy as a center, but anyway, I digress. Continue. Forgive us, man.
But yeah,
Okay, Edison, I was gonna say something silly.
That's
You
what
asked me
Thomas
if
got
I
to
knew
do.
somebody
You know, a dude named Strange.
strange.
He cool with David Proch. D Strange. I forget he do comic books now, but he
E
used to rap. He
Strange?
used to
Yeah,
have
yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yes, I know that whole. Yes,
Shout out approach.
yes. That's yeah.
That,
So, man, we could be on here for like fucking 3 hours, like maybe 4 hours. I'm gonna try to. Y'all
There we
gonna have to get
go.
me for. Y'all gonna have to get me for a part two. Let me chill. Dave Prost, man. Dave Prost. When I moved back to the city, like after Morehouse, I moved back to Philly in like 2014. I ran into Dave Prost probably like 2016, and
mm-mm.
he was like downsizing in an apartment. I think he might have like broke up with his girl or something like that. And he one of the homies was like, "Oh, you got to meet this dude, Dave Proch. He's an amazing artist, but like beyond that, he's like the biggest hip hop head I know." This man,
Wow.
Shit, yeah.
bro, he
That's
had
dope.
like every
That's
Vibe
true.
magazine ever. Like
Yep.
every Vibe, every XXL.
No, he is
He had
committed.
like rap
That's a hell of
pages.
a rep, man. That's what's
This
up.
man, like, and I want to like if he when he sees this, Dave, like my brother got those. I literally just laid my eyes on him during my trip back home. My brother and I went to his spot because he was like, "Oh, I got to get rid of these, and I don't want to throw them out. It's going to break my heart." And he just gave me like all these like original issue joints, and I was just like, "Man, like this is why I
That
love
shit
this
worth
hip hop
something,
shit."
man. It
'Cause, like,
means something.
it just, but here's the thing, like I'm gonna read it with my kid, like it's that type of shit. Like it's
Yeah.
one of those like
Yeah.
you have to like look at these like ads, like look at these unsigned hypes, like look at this shit, like these folks
Historical
who are legends
documents.
now. There's people who were had beens, could have beens, like people who like but them having verses in that shit, like trying to explain that to my seed, like and him just holding on to those things, like just meant so much to me. Like
That's dope.
I'm almost damn near emotional thinking about it, really, because he just like was like, I don't know you from whoever. Like we had like a conversation, and he was like, "Nah, I want you to take these issues. Go." Actually, I think my man John Morrison might have put me on him. Now I think about it, it might have been my homie John Morrison, but Dave, like outside of his art, like he's an amazing artist, really unique style. But like as a hip hop head, he knows his shit. And just like a really thorough dude, bro. He's just thorough. Like that's that's all I can say about Dave Proch. He's a thorough
Say
dude. So
less.
he just like
That's it.
he looked out, and so I don't even know where the fuck I was going before this shit. I got my
D
mind just
Strange.
like
You had moved back to
D
Philly. You
Strange
linked
knew
up
Dave
with D
Proch.
Strange.
No,
Yeah,
Dave
I
Proch.
approached,
Yeah,
but you had
we
just
met.
moved back
Yeah,
to
we
Philly.
met through.
Mm-mm.
I met him. I met like a bunch of Sadu. Like when Sadu was a young bull, but I don't want to get. He's mysterious. So I'm not gonna get too deep in his origin.
Sadu
But
Gold?
yeah, Sadu Gold.
Yeah,
I know.
Sadu Gold,
Yeah,
Wow.
I knew him when he was like a young bull, but like I'm not I'm not gonna get into his
That's all right.
origins.
Respect due to him. We gonna
secret
leave it
identity shit.
mysterious.
He's secret identity shit. If y'all get him, he might chop it up about it. But like
Man, I'm trying.
he was doing like beat sets and shit back when I got back home. More Mother, I don't know if y'all familiar with her shit, but she was doing like punk shows and shit. She like would put me on to a lot of bills when I got back home, and I was playing like a lot of, so like this is the time I was not online, right? Like Lukey was talking about, like I was
Yeah, I was
back in
searching
Philly,
for him. I was searching for him hard. Yeah.
basically like getting like like I was in like the chamber. That's the best way to describe it. Like I was back home, just like doing random odd job shit, and just in Philly, just going to the corner store making beats, like on some like really like getting my style together type shit. It sounds almost comical to think about, but I was going through like the different shit, like depression, like shit was just real. I was living in North, just like trying to figure out my life type shit. And my girl came back to Philly to do her master's degree program, and then like her grandmother got sick, so I moved to New Orleans. But like in that like time between like 2013 when I saw Lukey, I like finished at Morehouse 2014, and then I was in Philly until 2017. In those 3 years, I was just like fucking figuring shit out, going through a lot of fucking I was living with some like heroin addicts and like cokeheads and shit, and digging for records. And I was in like there was this movie called Tales of Shaky Dog, which was based off like this Ghostface joint. And
Oh yeah, Tales of Shaky Dog, Shaky Dog.
Yeah, if I can find it. Yeah, I'm gonna send you, like, if I can find it. I think I got it on a hard drive somewhere. I hope I did. I have this shit on a hard drive somewhere.
Yeah,
I got this shit on a hard drive. I'm gonna send this shit, y'all. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I did like the score. I did part of the score for it. And it was like like what y'all hear now. It was like the beginning of that was during that movie. That was like probably 2016. I played shows with JPEG Mafia. Fucking when he was before he was JPEG Mafia, he was like in Baltimore running back and forth through Philly. So like that's kind of like
Scaring the Hoes. What you think about Scaring the Hoes?
Man, so with a lot of like the abstract hip hop shit, for me, it's touch and go.
Yes,
I like JPEG Mafia. To be honest, for me, with Danny Brown, I'd rather hear Danny Brown, like in the current point, I'd love to hear him on I'd love to hear him with like Alchemist or something like that.
My man. See? So go ahead. I mean, basically.
I like weird Danny Brown. Don't get me wrong. Scaring the Hoes isn't really. For me, I'm not gonna say like not to be safe. It's not for me. That's not like,
I feel you on that.
No disrespect to that, brother.
It's
like,
all no disrespect to either of them, but that's not for me either, man. I feel like Scaring the Hoes is music made for gentlemen that are not familiar with the embrace of a woman. And it's very obvious that
they succeeded. They succeeded,
I guess, because it definitely scares away the hoes. The sounds are very awkward and abrupt, and I tried to listen to it and I tried to like it. And I'll also say Reddit. There are Reddit jagoffs that love it, that claim that it's the album of the year. And
can I give you?
You know why?
I know exactly why. But I'm just happy that WINO WILLY also articulated it very well.
The alternate telling of it, for me, right?
Please.
Is this was all right. Do you remember when Jesus came out and people were like, "Oh, Jesus is the fucking so experimental and dope." And
the same people are saying that about Scaring the Hoes. Those same people. I felt
like no, but here's my thing about it, right? I felt like Jesus was like derivative Death Grips. Like,
woo!
If you're gonna go,
definitely.
If you're gonna, that was like my thing. I was in there like at the time. I was like, bro, like
a bad version of Death Grips.
Yeah, a bad Death Grips.
It was like Death Grips.
It was so like a lot of like those weird. I'm like, all right, because I felt like again he's coming like Death Grips is coming from that punk scene. Like, and this delves into me because like that's also a line for me is like really like industrial punk shit.
Yeah.
Please try again.
No,
I will. I will do it again. Industrial punk shit is like part of like my line of like shit I like. My brother is like I have a younger brother. We're 13 months apart. Irish twin shit. Shout out to my mom and dad.
Oh, shout out.
My brother is me except with rock, right? Like he went like we had like a line in the sand. Like he's a huge hip hop head now, and we like connect over shit like that. But like there was a line in the sand. Like we were teenagers. He was just like, I'm not listening to anything that's not like sludge metal, and like so I gave him listening to shit like that with him too, and being able to like sit and enjoy it. So with the jarring sounds of like let's say Fatboy Sharif. I'm a huge Fatboy Sharif fan. I love Sharif, bro. And for me, the difference between that and like with stuff like that No Face is producing, the stuff that Steel Tip Dove is producing, the stuff that like even like DJ Haram or like some folks that work with like Arm & Hammer and people like that, like there's a certain sonic texture that I like that I don't feel like JPEG Mafia gives me. So his production doesn't really quite hit the mark. Like I'm not saying like he's derivative, like the Yeezus shit is derivative. It's like clearly like, yeah, I'm gonna be experimental, and then I'll be called a genius later by whoever explains this shit on YouTube. But like that's what happened. Like this Yeezus,
I love
Yeezus got like the dude, my dude who did the podcast on like Kendrick, he did like the Yeezus podcast, and you're like, yeah, man, he was trying to do this, and you're like, no, bro, he was not trying to do this. He was not trying to do any of that. It was
maybe
Kanye
he was
West,
trying,
like,
but he failed. You know what I'm saying?
oh man, Kanye
it felt
hurts
miserable.
my heart. Kanye hurts
But
my
then
heart,
again, the Kanye fans co-sign everything he do, and they blows it up.
Well, they're.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I wasn't there. Like I was there. Like the Yeezus tour was crazy, and
yeah,
I mean that was like it was insane. Like it was. Shout out to Atlanta. Like,
oh, you saw it in Atlanta? Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, I was just about to say the same thing. I was in Atlanta. Me and my ex at the time, we went to the Yeezus show, and this is the one when he was flying over the crowd and everything with the platform and all that shit, right? And there were
fake
certain
Jesus
parts,
coming out.
Yeah, hey, look, there were parts of that show, and even the overall theme of that show was very indoctrinal. It felt like a Jim Jones recital, some sort of culty type bullshit. The vibes of it, like literally the vibes of the environment, felt like it was trying to put you into a trance of listen to this bullshit. And that's when the dude jumped up and grabbed on the Yeezus platform as it was flying around and shit. Yo, it was the weirdest, eeriest thing I've ever seen, man. It was definitely
some Full Metal Alchemist transmutation circle.
Absolutely. It was chants and colors, and I know that it was all types of colors and sound cues that were meant to trigger people's minds some sort of way. Me and my chick, we was looking away. We was like, man, this ain't it. This ain't it.
He's right though. He's right though.
That was
like
weird. It was
height of the Molly era too. So
absolutely, it was. Oh yeah,
Folks was in there. Yeah, folks was in their socks, bro. Yeah,
yeah.
Mad pussies was wet. Mad pussies was wet in there. And yo,
absolutely.
I remember. Never mind, I can't say that. But anyway,
yeah, you can. You can say whatever you want, Lukey. This is America.
Jesus was the start. But then when he did the other joint, well, where he's like in the middle of people, he's walking. People are walking around him. He's in the middle. That was definitely
God is love,
brother.
Yeah, he's talking about
his brother. He's trying. Yeah, what's it called? What when he's in the middle?
God is love.
He's at
the Sunday services.
Sunday service. God is love. That was that era.
He was at the Mercedes-Benz Dome in the middle of the middle of people walking around him. Then he rose up in the middle.
Yeah, that's the show we talking about.
Yeah, that was
the show we talking about.
Him trying to get his mother back on some Auric Brothers, Full Metal Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? You know when the brothers try to wish their mothers back?
I'm going to say, I'm very glad this is my episode. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for inviting me on for this. This is genuinely bringing me joy right now. This is genuinely big in my show.
This is how it happens, Joe. This is how it happens.
If y'all went to the show, you lost 10 minutes of your life. Everybody there lost 10 minutes of their life.
It took your 10 minutes of your soul.
He's not wrong though. He's not wrong though, bro. That was right before.
I'm mad about that.
That was right in that moment of my life was going real interested in that point in time. So going to Kanye West show is not a great idea in retrospect.
Everybody getting in their cars going, why does everything just feel heavy?
It was just for my broad.
You're like, I thought that shit, like, Carl.
Hey, yo, boom. Let's get back to the music, man. Like, boom, when you came back from your, I don't know, lack of better term, sabbatical. You know what I'm saying? You came back. You started editing the old podcast. You know what I'm saying? And all those beats in the intro
2019
was WINO Willy's beats. All those beats, the intro beats for WINO Willy's beats. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I found out about you.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Then I know you linked up with Daniel's son. I remember I got a song. Yo, who my favorite producer? WINO Willy's my favorite producer right now. And then I heard a song. I was like, yo, they really killing it, yo. Like, boom, like, word. Yeah, boom.
Did I send y'all the Daniel's son?
Nah, well, I think you sent me that a long time ago, yo.
It's been done for.
That was the first song y'all did.
Oh, y'all! I was gonna say, y'all don't have the whole project?
I do.
I mean,
I had a Pro Diligent one. Yeah,
you do. Hold on.
I thought we all got it.
Carl, you do.
Yeah. He said he wanted feedback on it.
Yeah, I sent that. I don't know.
I think I got it while I was in Vancouver.
Yeah, I don't have that. All right.
Yeah,
let me
I'll
I think that was when I was up at my sister's wedding or something. I think I got it just before.
I'll make sure. I thought it's been done for a long time. Like,
fair enough.
There's been a name change. Like there was a name change in the project. Like, so it's been done for quite some time.
Wow. Okay.
I don't normally admit to that because I'm never sure if I'm allowed to let people know I got advanced copies of stuff. So.
Yeah, it's not. You're supposed to have an advanced copy. You're supposed to have the event, like let me listen to this and be able to say like, yo, when this comes, it's going to be ridiculous. Or yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
Oh no, it's great. I will say it's one of the unexpected bonuses from doing this podcast was I was not thinking about getting advanced copies of shit, and it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
No, listen. Yeah, it's being on the other side of the table. I'll agree with you. That's one of my favorite moments. Is WINO WILLY, how is this out of you? I'm like, you're sending me your project for free. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, yeah, I will say this. I became a fan of yours because of the podcast and the intro tracks. I still to this day will say you're criminally slept on. You should be working with way more people. Your name should be all over the place.
I would say that. Well,
and as a drummer and somebody that's really into jazz, I really connect with a lot of what you do. So when you're on live cooking beats and stuff like that, I always try to tap in because you definitely have something special.
Yeah, it's my I do that shit just like while I'm sitting there, just like look over, and sometimes homies will tap in and like send me like shit to sample or just like there's like sample. Man, how do I describe these guys? Like, there's dudes from like Asia, well, mainly Japan. It's like these Russian and Japanese dudes who sell vinyl, who like get really obscure shit. And I don't know if I'm giving anybody secret. I think I found this from J.R. Swift's. Being on one of his lives, there'll be like these random dudes who'll just tap in and be like, "Oh, I got random rare vinyl for $45. I'll ship it to you. But if you want the high quality wave, I'll give it to you for $5." Now, funny enough, like and it's like records that are not on YouTube. These are records that like you cannot, like, they went to the record store, somebody sat down and recorded this whole shit, and it's like some collector somewhere will buy this record for me for $50 and I'll make $20 off of it because I went and bought it in Russia for the exchange rate of $5 or some shit. So they, they come off nice. But for me, it's been one of my great discoveries on Instagram was like, if I go on live and some producers will show up, eventually one of the sample people will show up, and they have saved my ass over the last like 2 years. I'm like sitting here, it's like, man, I really want some heat.
That is a huge insider tip.
Yeah, dudes will show. Listen, and I'm not selfish. If you're trying to produce, any producer who's watching this, hit me on the DM and be like, yeah, I'm trying to find this and this record. Wow, I will send you anybody that I buy records from. I'll happily.
Nice.
Like I
nice.
don't believe, that's one thing I hate. I love reading about it because it's funny hearing about DJ Premier, man. Like, yeah, and then I scratched off the the label so you couldn't know where this. I'm like, no, bro. Like, you're DJ Premier. It's gonna sound fire when you do it. If you give it to whoever such and such, they're not gonna be able to figure out how to do what you did. That's my theory.
100%.
So I don't feel like you're gonna sit here and be like, if I give you this record, you're like, I'm gonna make the WINO WILLY type beat. Like, if you do good, like good, I'm okay, but that's not for me, like, in the current like state of our culture, like going forward, we need to be open with, at least with each other who are producing and who are like creating, of this is where you find this type of sound.
Yes.
And if you can push it forward, push it forward. Like
100%.
I'm standing on the shoulder of like unabashedly so Flying Lotus and like Madlib and Jay Dilla and DJ Premier and DJ Crush and fucking DJ Honda and Cash Money and it named whoever was great before me. So me going forward, like, of course, when I have a lot of recently, one thing that touched me is the homie Argov told me in Israel he's teaching a production class, and some dude asked if he knew me. And I'm like, this is like some young kid, like some 17-year-old who listens to Rome Streets and listens to Makami and listens to Droog, and was like, do you know WINO WILLY? And for me, as some like kid who grew up like just loving, like I started making beats because I was fascinated with how the sounds came together. Like my first memory in a car is We Got the Jazz by a Tribe Called Quest. And like, I couldn't conceptualize like how that works. Cause it's not the loop of the record. Like it's not, oh, here I'm looping.
No,
I'm doing a merry-go-round. I'm not looping up. It's
one of my favorite songs
Green
too.
Street Breaks. And then they had people playing on that shit. Like, so it's really nuts to think about, like in that era, like folks
that trumpet at the end, or the trumpet,
yeah, right. Yeah. And it's like 12, like and it's not like they're getting like some dudes, they're getting like Ron Carter, like they're getting legends
quality
to play on these records.
Yes,
yeah,
quality musicians, not some dudes like, oh, this is some dude the session music. Like you're getting legitimate legends who are going to be, hopefully, if it was up to me, remembered in a way. Or it's like you got like, it'd be like if you're playing pickup basketball and the dude you got to coach you was fucking Elgin Baylor or some shit like that.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean? Like which would be nuts. Like you're
Oscar
like, oh,
Robinson is your
Oscar Robinson
backup.
is your back. Exactly.
Yeah, he's just coming out to shoot around. He's here to hang out with us.
I'm here to, but also at the same time, just like, and I get so much excitement talking about this because those legends did not look at a Tribe Called Quest as like, why are they doing this shit? They looked at it as like, oh, this is dope. This is fire. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So going back to my original point on like AJ Hall, for me, AJ Hall is that.
Back around.
AJ Hall is that. I'm gonna go back. This is how like I think, but like AJ Hall is that. Yeah. Like that's what he's doing by playing currently with like John Cleary and all the people that he's gonna play with through his whole life. He'll, I don't know how many people he's gonna play with. Him making breaks and doing that shit is the same as people who played on these records with Tribe. Like, and that's seeing dope. Like him, and I can continually give that man his flowers, because looking up and seeing like fucking Russ and like random, like, however you feel about him, use his breaks on like tracks with Jay Electronica is nuts. Like that's ridiculous. And then also it being used by Conductor, like, and Conductor being like, AJ Hall is great. Like that for me, Conductor Williams, like saying that, like I almost cried. I was like, bro, like tell these people who this dude is, like, and he did. So again, Conductor Williams, another dude I gotta give flowers to, because he's like, if like how Madlib and Jay Dilla were like cousins, like they're in the same house. I feel like me and Conductor Williams are in the same house. Like where there are certain things where I can hear him, like I understand his language that he's speaking.
That passionate, native, original energy, that energy.
Yeah, that just like just.
But he has a distortion, experimental quality to his jazz as well.
Exactly,
I can hear it.
Where he's like, and it's there's certain like niche parts of it, but like at the end of the day, it's like hearing things in that particular way, of that distortion, of like that that warble, like that really for me, I'm like, if you, again, being on the nerd shit, like if you watch like old like anime VHSs, like if after a while, like listening to those soundtracks of like a Lupin the Third, it takes on that quality on the VHS. Like, so it's really going back to like my childhood of watching like Yu Yu Hakusho, of watching a lot of those animes, and like them having really fire soundtracks. But then even furthermore, like I might have to get out my baby's bed. What time is it? I'm good. I thought I was concerned. Good. I was concerned that that I'm out here. I'm in my child's bedroom.
Oh, and it's bedtime. Yeah, bedtime is serious, man. You got
Daddy's gonna be in here. Like I got a smooth hour. I got a smooth hour before.
Okay.
She's probably gonna be put down in here, and I gotta get kicked out. So I'm gonna keep it brief. I'm failing at that happily.
It's
But,
fine. It's
Escaflowne.
fine. That's what this is about. That's
Yeah.
we want you
I'm
to
failing
talk.
at
Keep
that.
going. Tell us the stories.
What about Escaflowne? Escaflowne. Remember Escaflowne?
Oh yeah,
With
Escaflowne's hard, bro. Yeah,
they got some good. They got some good. It's like singing. Oh no no no. Yeah, like,
that
the
shit's
price
always
of
crazy. Like the
admission
Mech,
every time.
I was saying the Mech's always crazy. Is
But
I
better.
think like a lot of the anime soundtracks, like Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex,
Yeah.
like the theme song of that shit, like always, like the Yoko Kano joint, like was just nuts. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how to like flip some of that stuff. Like just at some point I'll get to it, but like I listen to it, I just genuinely enjoy that. Fucking
Inuyasha, the in scene song.
Yeah, that joint's crazy.
I'm gonna take y'all back even further. You got to hear that Robotech, man. Robotech.
Oh shit, Robotech is hard.
Yeah, those. Hey, man.
Now we're talking.
I love the music from Robotech. I remember.
Listen,
me and my brother used to watch Robotech like it was, a dramatic soap opera, and we loved that shit.
Bro.
Like, oh my god, Robotech's coming on. We had to watch it.
It is.
Yeah, I loved it.
Listen.
I'm telling you,
mech
space opera.
Anime,
There you go.
Space opera mech anime.
Space
like
opera
Gundam.
anime. Gundam.
Let me push y'all on game, bro. Let me push y'all on game.
The first generation Gundam.
G Gundam. All that shit.
G Gundam is the one of the one. I love G Gundam because like on some like shonen shit, but like the Gundam storyline of these kids dealing with like warfare and like the effects of war. It's nuts to watch. Like if you sit back and watch that shit now, it's like, it's so fire, bro. Like
absolutely,
it's one of those moments like where, and any MC who's watching this, like I implore you, man, anime's nerd shit. Nerd. Go watch that shit. Go watch that shit and go look at the storytelling. Go look at the storytelling, bro. Like,
when it's done well,
it's unmatched, bro.
There's this, and I got to use my favorite word, this grafted generation. After they figured out, because there's a certain point I feel like in music and in all forms of art, when the mainstream, when the oppressors, when those that are not woke, the low vibration people discover something that a dumbed down, generic, gentrified, watered down, grafted version is then released. And there's a certain inflection point. Like, you got the ill ass animes and all this type of shit that lead up to a certain point till people started discovering, you got the regular again. And I'll take it to my thing. When the gang banging motherfuckers found out about fatigues, that's when you had the orange and purple fatigues come out. You understand what I'm saying? But before that, it was just the various, we rocking green and black and the tiger fatigue and the Vietnam eras and all the different shit. But then once fatigues hit the street, that's when you had the red and whites and the red and grays and the yellow and blacks and all the weird ass crazy fatigue colors, right? Because it has to be dumbed down to be digested by the people that have heard from the other people like, this is where the knowledge is. This is where the truth is. This is where you getting it from is here. No, this is where they're looking. No, we're going to give you guys janky ass Power Rangers. We're gonna give you some goddamn it bullshit. I'm saying, you're into Pokemon. We're gonna give you the other thing, Digimon. There you go. That's the same difference, right?
First two seasons.
This primo jab brought to you by the Mario industry.
Pardon me. I'm sorry.
You good? You good? I'm following you. I'm following you.
I'm just saying, man.
I gotta. Before we transition to the next part, I gotta ask. Evangelion, the last episode of Evangelion.
With
what
the
was
fucking,
that?
Oh my god!
I did it. That's why my daughter. Right. I did it.
Yeah, it's hilarious because it is right. You want to again? That was I would say that's for me. That's peak anime. That's like fucking because this man decides to not initiate a singularity that would wipe out the human race. Because of his own ego. No, okay. So this show, Evangelion,
concept is dope.
Is
the fact
about
that's even a concept is dope.
Again, you fuck with Robotech, right? You fuck with the mechs, right? You fucking with the mechs. Evangelion is the most pessimistic existential version of that. It is the children's soldier who is neglected by their parental figures. The meme you'll see is get in the spaceship, Shinji. Right? Get in the space.
Shinji.
Get in the suit, Shinji.
I'm about
Get
to
in the
look
suit,
this up,
Shinji.
man.
Go look up. I think it's on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix though.
It is
the whole
original?
Yes, they have that and the movie, which is the last episode. Yeah, it's the end of Evangelion. The whole premise of that show is basically like, this kid who's trying to impress his father, who's trying to like be the best, like the shonen shit, but like then eventually at the end is just like this existential like mind fuck. Like there's these like things called angels, which are like the monster of the week that attack. And they basically fucking win and end the earth. And the end of the earth is left in this kid's hand. It's like, do you want to allow for total human enlightenment by humanity being wiped away into this one singular consciousness? Or do you want to stop that and allow humanity to exist and to thrive and grow? But the choice to allow humanity to be individuals is actually technically the wrong choice, because it's preventing quote unquote eternal happiness at the expense of him being a singular individual. It's really some shit. Up. It's fucked
and
up.
That one girl,
shit.
That girl's a clone who dies over and over again. That shit is wild. And like the dad, you didn't even know the dad that was his daddy, yo. Like you didn't know that was his daddy, right? Shinji is fucked up. Shinji was fucked from the beginning. Shinji is worse than Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker had no chance in life. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But Shinji is fucked up, man. And it was just so cool. But I was a young kid, I didn't really understand it. Then I get the DVDs and I watch it. I'm like, yo, this is fucked up.
It's more than
the little boy's naked with him. The little boy was an angel, and he was butt naked with him on like the second to last episode. I'm like, yo, what's going on with?
There's you got the DVD, so you got the unedited version. There's a underlying relationship between the angel. Like it's fucked up because he has to kill him. Remember, he kills him. He kills him. He claps him.
He kills that guy.
But he's in love with him, and it's like it's some. Listen, y'all, like it's some wild shit. It's some wild shit.
Yo,
it really was.
That theme though, that theme of the singularity of humanity becoming the ultimate next step though, that's something that it keeps on rearing its ugly head right now, man. And the theorist in me, the person in me who learned these facts and learned to look for these telltale signs, is very skeptical of the positivity of it that's attributed to it. Because right now, for example, I'm reading X-Men, and that's a big theme, this whole Dominion theme, right? That humanity wants to find its ultimate form by becoming a part of this omni-mind technology that exists outside of space and time. And that's our ultimate evolution, right? So to hear that was also something back then, and now to see that it's popping up again, like I said, it just makes me question, why is this a theme that continues to pop up in the universal consciousness or in the consciousness of
we can get right back into the hip hop thread of this with the reason that you have folks reading like Behold the Pale Horse and shit.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? This is like
question everything, bro.
The question, like the powers that be that influence the movement of humanity is consistently trying to figure out a way to like why are we headed towards automation? Like technology is important,
right?
And I'm not someone who is a technophobe. I believe that technology is something that's great, but like, I'm so concerned about whatever is in my phone bugging me. Like as soon as we allowed like iPhones to exist for us, we were bugged. Like
correct.
We're so much farther down that fucking road. So like for me, not saying like to not be like to take certain precautions. Like I'm very when it was time for my little one to go to the dentist, and like I was like I'm still like trying to figure out like fucking with the Tom's toothpaste and shit because I'm just like so paranoid about like the fluoride and like that shit and like it's already in the water.
Yep.
Yeah, and like they got like heavy metals in the fucking baby food, bro. Like in the baby food, you cannot give your kid.
Oh, hold on though. Hold on, Father Willie. Did you see that latest video that came out? And Luki, you should listen to this too. You see that there are no FDA regulations for what goes into baby lotion, and that baby lotion is allowed to contain acceptable levels of radioactive particles, uranium, tungsten, all types of weird ass things, arsenic. Hey, look, it doesn't matter if it's in there. It's the fact that it's allowed to be in there. You understand what I'm saying? Look it up. It's not an FDA approved thing. Baby lotion is lawless. Yeah, baby lotion is outlaw technology out here, man. They can make baby lotion out of some goddamn olive oil and dirt on the ground and tell you that it's exfoliating, and they'll be like, yeah, sure, let's sell it.
Listen, we just fuck with the shea butter in this house.
I'm a $1 million idea. I'm joking.
That's right. Shea butter only. Shea butter babies.
Yeah, we just fuck with the shea butter, African butters, whatever, bro. That's what it is.
I'm gonna go read that label on this baby lotion I got in there. She love that shit too. Lotion? Yeah, it's a warm. Yeah. But really, our
just
kids
run a Geiger counter over it.
Yeah,
and make sure it's not
popping. Uranium, but it was some other chemical.
Dark Guyver.
Oh, the Guyver was crazy too. You talking about the live action thing?
Yeah,
live action was kind of whack a little bit, but
the live action was very whack. But the show, the concept itself was
Luke Skywalker was in that joint. That's why I watched it, because Luke Skywalker was
in the live action.
Dark Guyver. Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure it was
maybe Luke in the movie.
Are we talking about MacGyver?
No, I'm talking about Dark Guyver. The Guyver.
Yeah, the Guyver.
Yeah, my bad, Guyver. I thought you said Guyver. That's a really deep. That's a really the reason why.
Hey, hold on. Before we go too far, I'm not gonna let. I forgot to jump in. I forgot to jump in, man, and say that y'all should stop slandering Anakin because he was corrupted by a cult as a youth, man. You know what I mean? They sent his ass off.
That's not.
They sent him off,
bro. No,
absolutely, man. They ruined Anakin Skywalker's life as a shorty, man.
He was a slave who got bullied by aliens.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, he got the slave.
The Jedi was on. He was a slave. That part. Sure, he was a slave.
He got
the Jedi was on some bullshit, though.
Jedi came and they teach them. They got some pussy from an older woman, lost his mind. Then the Sand people killed mama. He was fucked he got some older pussy.
He was kind of statutory raped. He was kind of statutory raped a little bit.
They were consenting adults in space. There are no laws there.
Look, you name me one evil character or bad guy in real life or in cinema that didn't have a fucked up childhood and a bad backstory. It's never because they were just evil.
That's right. And they were.
It's one of those things where I think there's always a situation that can make you be the person you shouldn't be.
Really killed me.
Thank you, Carl.
But am I making sense? But am I making sense? Am I making sense that Anakin was doomed from the get?
Man, you put makeup on a pig with your story. Hold on. You put makeup on a pig with your story, brother.
Hold on. They have a part on the unedited scenes that I got on the DVDs where Greedo is beating Anakin's ass.
Look, his slavery part was bad. I'm not arguing that. I'm talking about him being with the Jedi and them being like, look, we know, secretly like, yo, we know this dude. Like, first of all,
can't get no
the dude who kidnapped him, Qui-Gon, he kidnapped him. He didn't tell his mother that, yo, we believe this dude is going to be the motherfucking guy. We need to take him with us. They just said, yeah, we want to take him. Oh, we want to find out and train him, blah, blah, blah. They really candy coated the story, all this type of shit. I'm trying, hey, man, look.
Darth Vader
shout out Anakin, man. Vader was misunderstood.
Y'all
Hey, yo,
remind me. I gotta
Wino
go
Willy.
download those Akosha episodes, the Soka episodes.
Yeah, I gotta go check that shit
I'm
out
waiting.
too.
Oh yeah, I watched
I
them.
want to binge them
I
all at
watched
once.
two. I watched two.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna watch
can't
the
watched
wait
whole
two.
that
Hey,
thing.
yo, boom.
week by week shit.
I got
Unlike
a
you, Carl.
Sokatano song. That's what I say. Sokatano. Once my dick on the dolo, when we fuck straight me through first time solo.
And then he laughs like a scumbag.
Yeah, I was a scumbag. So like, yeah, that's why I have a
Was?
daughter. Yeah, yeah, I'm not no more. I chilled out before she was born. Yeah, that's why I have a
Congratulations,
daughter,
man.
man. Because like I knew it was gonna happen. Like boom, now I get to teach her to stay away from the scumbags. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, where will we leave off on? Let's
Hey,
talk
man,
about some music real quick.
let's talk about some
Because we
music,
can
man.
talk
Hold
about
on.
everything. We can talk about everything. Yeah,
Let
we
me
can talk
look,
about
get-
Glitchy
Let me kick
Party.
it off. Yeah, thank you. See, Lukey,
Yeah,
you were here.
Yeah, Glitchy
Let's
Party.
talk about the Grillchies, man. Shout
Yeah.
out to Mark Speck and them. They
The
speak very highly of you. You know,
Yes.
him
Oh,
low and
man,
clever,
definitely.
clever one, all of them, man. Yeah, man. Let's talk about
Salute.
them.
Listen. Uh, Shout out to my wife for making me move to New Orleans because without that, I don't think I would have got linked with them brothers. So
Really?
I came down here. Yeah. So Spec
That's
lived
wild.
in New Orleans. Spec lived in New Orleans until
I
a
didn't
little
know
bit
that.
ago. He's in Atlanta now.
Oh, he's back in Atlanta.
He's
I didn't know he was in Atlanta.
yeah. He. Well, I'm not sure. He's back and forth. He's back and forth.
Yeah, he back and forth.
But he's back and forth. So like he'll come down here do some stuff, come back up there do some stuff. But he we met at one of the beat shows
In
at
Atlanta?
one of the counters that in New Orleans. He came by. He did like a set. He put out a project, and he came and just like kicked some rhymes with one of the dudes down here, Prospect.
Yeah.
He had him come out and rhyme on some shit, and we just like linked and like built. He heard like what I was playing, and at the time I wasn't quite as polished as I'm more polished now than I was then. So we talked and about like some shit, but I just like built with him on some like whatever he needed done on my like Shaolin Temple, like go run errands, go bring the water up the hill type shit, and then eventually I'll get to learn the kung fu type shit. So
Okay.
with a lot of the early like Grill Street stuff, I was running like the vinyl ran vinyls for him to the post office and like handled shit like that. But then I've been a fan of like Himlo, the Blues Brothers, and Spec. I've been a fan of Spec though for like I'm a head, so like hearing like for a minute. So so this is me getting him his flowers because I don't always get the chance to tell him. I tell him thank you every time we get on the phone. We talk like maybe 2-3 times a week, and I always express my gratitude because without him, like the shit that y'all are gonna see over the next 5 to 10 years would not be possible. Like he was the first person to hear my shit and be like, this needs to be heard on a bigger platform.
Yep.
And I got to do some joints for him low. And before that, where is she? Come here.
Daddy,
It's like night
You gonna
night.
say hi? Come here.
It's like night night.
You gonna say night night? Come here. I won't say night
this
night.
shit is real.
I can say night night.
This the real as it gets.
Come here.
It's really dope, man.
Hi.
Wow, she does look like
Don't you
JC.
look like
That's
JC?
crazy.
Oh my goodness, beautiful. Oh, that smile.
Cute,
That
man.
smile, man.
Wow, they're smiling at you.
Hi.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Peekaboo.
Yeah.
Peekaboo.
That's crazy.
Too cute.
I told you they look like cousins, yo. I told you they look like cousins.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna start coming up to Atlanta with my thing. We're gonna have to do a play date, Lukey.
You got to, yo. She like the playground?
Yeah, she loves the playground. We like the swing.
We there,
try to go to like a bunch of stuff. We try to do a little everything. There's that spot, I don't know what that means. We went to a museum when we was up there. There was like a
Children's
kids friendly
place
museum. I
downtown.
don't know.
There's
It was like in like
Fernbank, and then there's the Center for Puppetry Arts, which are both
it
really
might have
cool.
been Fernbank. It was like
Did it have
I don't
dinosaur
know.
in it?
Yes, it
Fernbank's
had
like
dinosaurs.
a
Yeah, it had
natural history
dinosaurs.
museum.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was fire. We went when my wife was pregnant when I was staying in Atlanta. Shit, we're gonna have to do a part two.
I see.
I had too much shit. We're gonna have to do a part
chock
two.
full of action on this motherfucker.
Yeah,
This
we have
is
to do a
great.
part two. But you know, as far as Spec is concerned, like Spec, he was just really tapped in like with the scene down here in New Orleans, and he was starting a instrumental series. Thank you. All right, y'all. The light is about to flick on and off.
I'm with it. Go ahead. We with it. We with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
fine.
she,
It's
you know,
cool.
he.
Production.
Be careful here. Both hands. And we're trying to fall. No. Yeah. Okay, you want to say bye? Uh-huh. Yeah, you can say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
That's so awesome.
We don't care if you hang out. You hang out. It's
you
cool.
can hang out. You can hang out. It's
cool.
okay. You can hang out. Okay.
My daughter be on here all the time. Winos. My daughter be on. So it don't matter. She be on here. So
This is it. I'm just letting her. I see the name on the phone.
Yeah, we have. Oh yeah. Hey yo, and we have a logo for her as well. So we might get a logo for your daughter, yo, too.
Callie,
as well.
Yeah. You good, girl. You good. She would appreciate it. She would love that.
Right.
He had like an instrumental series called Grocery Party Favors that he had an idea. He kicked it back to us in like 2018. And during the pandemic, I was like sending him stuff, and he was like, "These joints are really, these joints are crazy. Send me like 50 joints." So I'm out here, shout out to being locked inside the house, and I'm just out here going like a madman. Like, I got the AJ Hall breaks. I got, all my spiritual shit. Actually, before I started this process, I had a dream where my cousin Rufus Harley came to me and was just like talking to me about like the afterlife and music shit. And my grandfather, like one of my grandfathers, like really pivotal in my life, passed away at the beginning of the year, and I just had like a lot of like just like spiritual upheaval, and I started cooking those beats in the process of that, and like processing through that pain and that grief. And that project, like the reason I chose, like you look on the front, like of that vinyl, there's Sun Ra and Willie Dynamite. My grandfather, he, of course, like fan of like the times, but like he put me on to Sun Ra when I was like 8 or some shit like that, and just gave me like a CD and like, so. But Sun Ra like had the Project Spaces of Place in '73 where he did a film about him trying to save Black folks from damnation by bringing them to a different
planet
side of space.
Yeah.
And to get there, you had to step outside of time. And once you stepped out of time, like that's the first thing you did, was step out of time, and then from that point you could reach this, this plane of enlightenment if you were able to leave.
Man, we're talking some shit on here today.
Hey,
I'm into this.
What are you doing?
She got too quiet. She got too quiet.
Yeah, I looked in the background. She's in the background grabbing. Hey.
She went through the gate and then to the
right. Man, but hey, while he over there doing what he do, man, like, see, this is what it's all about, man. This is the part of hip hop that I feel like needs to be talked about a lot more, is the fact that there's such a lineage between what came before us and what is right now. And I think WINO WILLY is
Check
really.
See if you did anything in the kitchen.
he's really expressing that connection very well. Just in everything that he's been saying thus far, there's a connection to something. And that's what I think drew a lot of us into this culture in the first place, was that we loved the culture initially just off of first look. We saw it and was like, damn, that bitch fine. But then once we got to know underneath the, the original facade, we started finding out, oh my God, you come from this, and you have this, and you can enlighten me to this. Oh my God. And it was just so much more beautiful than we could have ever imagined off of that first impression. It's all connected, man. It's back to that source.
It is. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to say, like, if that's the thread, be careful, yo. It's heavy back there. Be careful. So in like my project is a 2020/2021 representation of that concept of like our dichotomy between the light and darkness. Like, I'm not going to say good and evil, because the reason that people do certain actions is influenced by condition. Like we were talking about, like with Anakin, like, there's people can experience great harm and still cause light. But at the same time, like, some people who experience great things can become horrendous monsters. So I don't believe, like,
kill somebody out of love.
People who do some shit out of love. Yeah, there's some people who say I love you and then do these things that you're just like, this is
I love you. No one else can have you.
Yeah,
think about Holy Wars.
Yeah, Holy Wars.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's the greatest example of, I'm trying to spread love by massacring this land for not believing.
Yeah, either subjecting you or killing you, and that's no choice.
Yeah, that's
I'm
ridiculous.
Gonna kill you until you love me.
And
I want to show Jesus down your throat. Pause. Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus.
That's it.
Thank you, Jesus.
That might be the cold open right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah, thank Jesus. Bro. I'm gonna kill you. God is love, but I'm gonna kill you.
Shit. That's why they call you.
That's real.
But hold on. That's what the Native Americans, there's a saying that said, so the missionaries, they came to us and they tried to convert us, and they told us things like, if you live like us, you'll get to go to heaven, and you'll get to live free and do everything you ever want to do, and it'll be paradise and everything. Right? So that the reply from the great chief at that time, whoever said it,
already
was like,
paradise.
So you mean to tell me that if I listen to you and I'm no longer able to be free and live the life that I want to live, that I get to go to your version of heaven? No, thank you. You know what I mean? So it's like,
you're like, I'm good off that.
I'm good off that. It's like, come on, bro. Like, that's the science out here, man. It's perception, man. Perception, and not only that, oppression is real, and it takes so many different shapes and forms, and it can come to you in very insidious ways, man. It can be presented to you in the form of music. It can be presented to you in the form of art and literature and things that you're not even, your guard is down. You're not even expecting. Like, you got to watch what your kids are watching on TV with cartoons and all this shit. You never know. Because they, and there is a they, the powers that be, whoever they are.
Daddy's phone?
Yeah, they've accepted it. See, she ain't working for them. Don't worry.
That's Jason's cousin right there, all the way.
JC's cousin,
100%.
said, enough of that. Don't tell me I can't watch my cartoon.
He was hitting the head or the phone, and I was betting on the phone.
Oh, but this is the best angle.
Honestly, it's a good phone.
Thank you.
Daddy's phone. There'd be numerous of times where I'd be like, go get daddy remote, go get daddy, turn the light off, go get daddy slippers, go get daddy. I love this right here. I love the fact that I can just order my kid around.
For me.
Yeah, but be careful. You don't want her to think your name is Go Get.
Yeah, I know, but shit, I wish I was a little bit younger though. I know me and Wino were close to the same age. I would like my kid to rebound for me at the basketball court. Yo, let's go play the game. I'm gonna miss a jump shot. You go get it for me. All
Yeah,
right.
38 was probably a bad time to start siring children for your basketball
It's
team.
over. It's over.
If you were doing that,
yo.
you should have started earlier, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's good. Right? We know a lot more now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to say,
fathers.
Say, yo, what you doing?
Yo, I be this is saying like,
she's
yo,
trouble.
this is some A-like shit for
I'm
real.
sorry, yo.
Like, yeah,
No, it's hilarious.
No. This is the realest shit ever. Yeah, word. I'm loving this. I'm loving your daughter smile. I'm loving the fact, yeah. She's being like JC.
I love you.
This is actually the first kid that we had on here other than JC. You know what I'm saying? And it's JC's cousin. You know what I'm saying? Word.
Wow, that's wild.
I love Callie. She is
Callie, JC.
Yeah, I was gonna say JC and Callie. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna link.
They got the same eyes. They got the same eyes, yo. Word. Yeah.
They look like
That's
I'm saying they look like him.
Yeah.
She
bugged out, man.
Yeah. Like her favorite thing to do is sometimes you'll catch her on live, like she'll just sit on my lap and just start hitting on the pads. When she was brand new out the womb, we're talking about like a month old, I would just hold her on my chest and like make, most of the beats I made on, I'm trying to remember which projects that's going to come out. I got a project coming out in the fall, like November, with a local dude, Smooth Cat. It's kind of like some like Diggable Planets, like almost
cool.
Almost jazzy shit. It's like way left from like the grimy shit I have. It's like it's more akin to like think like a Kai Solo Navy Blue, like that type of play. Like real
Navy Blue is wild.
Yeah. You can put this shit on like and be at the park. That's the best way for me to describe it.
It's like some
lo-fi be at the park. Like lo-fi esque. There's some joints on it that are like really bugged out. I got this joint on there that's like, it sounds like I punched like Charlie Parker in the face and it was like play. There's a joint on there that's nuts, but
I like that.
Let's check that out.
I'll send that through, but basically, like,
please don't hit me, Wino Willy. I'll play the song.
Yeah. It sounds like it's like crashing and stopping and starting, but like, the beats I made for that, I made like while I was in the hospital for my child's birth. Like I just had the MPC set up on like the side table.
Shit.
And
that's wild.
It's like real. It's just like real, like a lot of like emotions and not shit you would give somebody to rhyme on and be like. No slight shading of the guys I'm working with, but a large percentage are going to talk about some felonious behaviors, and
this is all written,
not on my hospital child beats, bro. Not on my hospital child beats.
Wow.
But yeah, I like that's one of my like great joys. Is when I'm producing, I'll know if like a beat's fire if my daughter like she'll like start doing this like head bob, like she'll just walk around and like she already has like a little ear of like this is like if it doesn't knock, she'll like look at me like what are you doing? What are you doing?
Wow,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you said that too, because I just got this image. Pro Dillinger had said something similar about his son.
He absolutely did.
And I just had this like vision of both of your kids head bobbing to Dirty Work.
Oh yeah, no, she loved the beats for that.
That's dope.
She loved the beats for that. We made those. I think I was back in Philly actually for like Thanksgiving when we started working on that project. And I'll jump right in there. So shout out to Pro Dillinger for being one of the first people to get a full Wino Willy treatment. When Pro, like, we got connected through, I don't even, I want to be honest, I'm not sure. Pro reached out to me. And I'm trying to, like, I'm really, like, this is it. it just kind of happened. I don't know if so. Maybe y'all mentioned me or somebody mentioned him to me, and then vice versa. And then I just reached out to him, and he reached out. And was like, "I love the shit you're doing." That I heard with, I think maybe he heard some joints I did with Ty Ferris.
Oh wow! Shout out Ty
and
Ferris.
with Flames Malik. Like last year, I did some joints with Flames Malik.
Malik.
My 2022 is actually pretty fire. And he like yes, he rhymed on a joint called Monsters, or yes, off his tape called Goosebumps. He rhymed this joint called Monsters, and it was one of my joints. And after he rhymed on that, he reached out. He was like, "This is one of the craziest things I've ever heard. Like, I want to do like a whole tape." So we were chopping it up, and Pro, like, he just was picking like the wildest shit he could for me. Like I was like, you send it. There's beats I sent that were like a lot safer, like more like in his catalog. Like, yeah, this is more. He's like, nah, bro, I want this like, shit that just is wild and bugged out. And I love it. Like it's very like I was saying, for that like punk rock aesthetic. Like he's very, very like grimy, dusty. Like for
it
me,
has a singular
like,
sound, man. It
yeah,
it has a sound just like you said. I know you did your research on his catalog beforehand, but for that particular album, what you guys have, and for you to say that's how he picked the beats, as he was going with the things that were kind of outside of what you thought he was going to pick, it makes sense, because it definitely doesn't sound like the typical Pro album, but it's in Pro's neighborhood, right? And you can tell that, yeah, you were inspired by that to probably craft those ones, but those weren't the ones that you were thinking he was going to pick each time. That makes sense.
Yeah, he like the weird the stuff. Like he also has some joints that like are gonna be on. He has he's talked about this a bunch. Steiner Brothers that's gonna come.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say you're on the Umbrella tape too, so that'd be cool too.
I'm possibly. I'm not sure. Possibly.
Oh, that's even great. Yeah, even more. The clues continue, Carl. You see, I'm getting clues almost every time.
We're following the breadcrumbs. We're gonna get there.
Following the breadcrumbs, man. WINO WILLY on the Umbrella tape.
This, I possibly
Rob De Niro Umbrella tape. Got it.
Yeah, let's say just y'all put it in the air. I possibly have some stuff on there.
Oh, because it exists. Ha ha, Pro. You can't hide it from me.
I will say it's a testament to what Pro does, though, because when you look at the work he does with Potato God, or the work he does with you, and just so many of his projects, including the numerous features that he does on so many other people's albums, he can fit onto any style beat. Like,
he sounds, Pro is, he really crafts, when he sits down and like crafts something, will put himself in a world, I would say, like when he does like these singular producer projects. So coming behind, like, I know something I noticed, like, I think Dirt Don't Hurt is like amazing, right?
Yes.
So
I love it.
Folks are like expecting that, and then for him to kind of go like he really went left with my joint. I feel like
that your shit is just as dope. It's just a different type of dope. It's like, oh man, I like heroin. I like
greatest part of it.
I would say I feel like folks are gonna come back to it, and like there's folks who like immediately like, yeah, this is crazy, and then there's gonna be folks who are gonna come back and be like, this is like not what I was expecting. What this is may have crept up into my favorites. Like I was watching a dude who was doing a reaction, was like, this is just like really bugged out and spaced out, and he like over time was like, oh, this is legitimately crazy to listen to, like in an enjoyable way.
I mean, it's like he was that spaced out, yo. Like
some folks, like it's different. Like it's not like I don't really give up. As for me as a producer, like I didn't give him a break. Like Overtime, I think is probably like, for me, I love Overtime.
Love Overtime.
Like,
yep.
That's like probably like the most, like if I was going to say, go on this project and pick out something that's like going to be the easiest digestible joint, it's probably Overtime. And even that, it's like it's really, again, that warbled, like distorted, like I'm chopping it on the MPC and processing through the 404 and like getting those artifacts. It's not like a consistent tempo of that. The drums lock it in. Shout out to AJ Hall. The drums lock it in,
Wow.
but like the waviness of the soundscapes and textures behind it are consistently changing and like ebbing and flowing. So if you don't like that type of sound, then I could see this project being frustrating to listen to. Or difficult, possibly. And I accept that. But that's not why I don't when I produce, I'm not going for like the beats that I grew up listening to and loving and that stick with me are like all caps.
Okay.
All caps is crazy, but all caps, like if you think about like that, like the Mad Villain beats, they're not like Pinata. Like Pinata is like very straight. Like I love Pinata too. I love Pinata. I love Bandana. But like Mad Villain is Madlib on the 303, like doing whatever the fuck he wants, and Doom just being like, "I got you," and kicking the craziest shit he can.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like chasing consistently.
That's
I'll tell y'all when I get it, but like, that's what I'm chasing.
Not crazy.
Man, keep going because I like
It's
your
not
throwaways
crazy.
right now. If that's the case, keep going.
It's actually the last thing I listened to just the other day.
Oof,
What was that?
It's
Mad
but
Villain.
say,
Nice.
like I would say, like Lukey, like it's not for you something that might not be like you're like it's not. I can hear.
I just like 60 sounds good to me. Like that's the problem with me. If it sounds good to me, then I like it. I like it. I love it. And I'll rap over anything that sounds good, or I'll listen to anything that sounds good to me. So anything is hip hop to me. So these people are saying it's crazy or sounds like I think the craziest beat on that Madlib joint, Mad Villainy, is the Quasimodo joint. Today
America's Most Wanted.
Because we're looking. We're searching for
That's
tomorrow.
true. Again,
Yeah.
Sun Ra sample, crazy Sun Ra sample on that
Sun Ra,
on that record.
Lord Quas. Yeah.
Yes, you just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna probably go try to find that sample and go crazy on that. I'm working on something right now.
But that to me is normal. That to me is something that I like. That to me is the hardest song on the album, really. Honestly, to me. But Carl,
if you think
agree,
about
Carl?
these records, though, like I was saying, if you think about
it's
these
a hard
records,
song,
like
yeah.
that's like I don't know, but like that's the shit I like. Like I like the homie Preservation lives down here in New Orleans, and I get to like go to dinner with him and his family. He has like a really I bet this like strictly if you don't have that's just got fucked up. If you don't have kids, I'm not trying to hang out with you in my real life.
Yeah. If I can't go over with my daughter, if I don't have
can't bring my kids with you. No, I'm not saying. I'll go to a concert. I'll go to these events and like fuck with you at the events. But like most of my like when I'm like not being Wino Willy, I'm like at like kids' birthday parties and like
the children. If I can't bring my kid, I ain't going.
We can't even like play some video games or nothing. Like
no, we can. He's like.
I can't bring my kid. I gotta go.
I'm playing. Like I'll fuck with. I go out and do my thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I have like probably like three nights a month where I'm like, yeah, I'll go.
Honestly, I hardly ever leave my house anyway, so don't even sweat it.
Everything.
If you play again, I'll say if you play Street Fighter, you can. I'm on Street Fighter every night. Like that's my my little.
On what platform?
Yes,
I think this is your dude.
PS4, but it's cross-platform. It's cross-platform.
PS4. Which one? Are you playing 6?
Yes, I'm playing 6. I play.
Right, I might have to get it. I'm a Tekken
I play
dude.
10. I want to be on 8. I want to be on 8. Believe me, I'll be on 8.
Absolutely.
I love every fighting game. Every fighting game. There's no fighting game I don't love.
Same. Okay.
I'm not gonna say that I'm nice. I'm competent. So.
Yeah. You can hold your own. You're not gonna.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
Blanked.
I'll hit you with the Dragon Punch wake up. Like I'll do the shit. Like if you come in close, I automatically throw. Like you're not gonna do some like scrub shit to me and get that off and I'll
you can't just press the buttons to get a W. Yeah.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. My
FIFA
daughter
till I
already
die.
trying to play. Yeah, this is like, nah, no fireballs, none of that shit that like the arcade scrub special of, none of that shit work on me.
None of that. It ain't gonna work.
But yeah, like with Pro's project, like that, like I was always saying, like the ethos of like these the reason I was bringing up preservation is like I love preservation's shit because especially like his stuff he did with Ka, like Dr. Yenlo, where he was flipping like the Chinese records.
Yeah.
That again, salute to him as a family man, but like as a producer, I'm gonna give him his flowers right now too. Like this man, he's so fucking he's so humble. He's like, yeah, man, I just found a record, looped it, that was great. And that's the beat. But just trying to talk to him like about that, like his thought process behind these records. Like this, it was the point where he was in his life. Again, going back to the source, like him taking things from where he is in his current space and time and creating these soundscapes that are in that language. Like we're talking about like the Conductor Williams, like in that language of like he's taking joints and like really pushing them to a point and working with people that are taking these soundscape that he's producing and like going to the absolute limit. Like if you ask me like who I think one of the greatest rappers of all time, Ka is in that conversation for me.
People have been saying that on this show for a very long time.
We would agree with you definitely.
Ka and fucking like again him. I know like I've gotten so many collaborations with him and
do
Rock
a top
Marcy,
five.
But
do a top five.
Oh, top five. All right.
You already said Ka, so there you go.
Right.
That's easy.
If I'm gonna say,
on your list.
I'll say Ka. I'm gonna say Black Thought.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, I'm fairly biased. So, if I was gonna, if you were like,
but that's legit.
Fairly biased. Yeah, but
definitely
that's fine.
Black Thought. Doom. Can't fucking forget Doom. Fucking Doom.
All right,
these last two are my always difficult. If I'm gonna say today, oh man, today, his later catalog is just so difficult, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Ghostface.
There you go.
Always.
I agree.
Always. Absolutely.
Lately it's been
absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. His freestyle that he just spit was pretty reminiscent of some old Ghosts. He's an older, more mature dude. He ain't on dust as much.
Yeah, but again, that's what I'm gonna think. Like, go
as much.
There's folks. The reason I'm bring up Ka's literally like, if your knees stay amazing, Lukey, and you can fucking pause. If your knees stay amazing, you can, and you play the best basketball of your life over the next decade. That's Ka for me as far as rapping.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not knees; it's just rapping.
And it's just rapping. Yeah,
technical talent.
So that being said,
doesn't work like that. I don't understand.
This is gonna be
here it is, the hardest one. Yeah, no, it's not. It's your thoughts. It's great. We love controversy here.
This is gonna be when Future Wave said that Drake isn't his top. Kendrick. I'm gonna give Kendrick a spot because.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna say like Master P or something, man. This is
I love Master P, but Master P is not at the top. It's not even top five New Orleans. So if I take top five, let me not do that. Let me relax.
Yeah, do a top five. No, you already said it. Do a top five New Orleans now. Yeah,
is Wayne, J Electronica. I'm gonna go with Currency.
Okay, there you go.
That's three. That's three.
I'm gonna go with as far as fucking his catalog. He doesn't have a long Mac from
Mac. Free Mac's home.
And then he's home. I actually work with him at my nonprofit. Shout out to him.
That's what's up. Salute to that man.
Good dude.
And you got one more?
And then
Super Shocker.
Mia X.
Whoa.
The Shocker.
Nice.
No, Mia X.
Mia X. Okay.
I gotta think.
No,
No, Mia X was
Juvie ain't on
crazy.
your list, huh?
Juvenile's nice, but I again in that crew, Wayne is
Wayne is
the
okay. Well,
supreme
Wayne,
in that crew.
he's the
crew.
dude who's
Wayne,
been
he's
rapping the
still
longest out of all of them.
yeah. He
Silk the
never
Shocker.
stopped, and he never stopped, and he
He
was able
stopped.
to get
Never.
to that next level of no. Like say what you want. Like I was one of those again. I want to say unabashedly so. When Wayne reached his like point in 2007 of like mass saturation, I did not get it and respect it. But then I heard the Cannon freestyle.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love Cannon. We love that.
Cannon
Shout out
and
Willie
like
the
hearing
Kid.
him with the Philly dudes, it was like, and there's the Gilly helped Wayne. I'm like, all right, bro. If he did, then he was a great teacher because Wayne, his secondary career, like Wayne now, like when he's showing up on like the Griselda shit and he's showing up on the Tyler shit,
He snapped
he's
on
not
the Griselda tape.
He's not spitting bullshit, bro. So it's like, say what you want. Like when Wayne was the greatest rapper of all time in 2007, no, he wasn't. But 2023 Wayne, I'll make an argument that he, like, I could have mentioned him as like a 6-man for my 5 list.
He's Super Saiyan up. He definitely got his Saiyan powers up. He been in the hyperbaric chamber training. Absolutely.
I'm really curious to see how he ages.
He killed that
really
shit.
Curious to see
He
how
killed
he
that
ages.
feature.
Booty beefcake. I said.
Well, look, I've said it before, man. Me and my brother Mega, we got this theory, man, that Lil Wayne actually can possibly be the greatest rapper ever because he's just been rapping longer than everybody in a professional level, and that means something, man. It's like
I would never say that.
Unfortunately, just like LeBron James coming into the league and being in the league 20 some odd years, putting up these amazing stats and these numbers that are going to remain untouched for a long time.
Never say LeBron is the GOAT.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to. Hey, who are you talking about? It's me, man. Would I ever say anything like that? Of course not. But I have to deal with reality. I have to deal with reality, and my hates and my biases cannot inflict on reality. So even though I'm like you, Wino Willie, like, yeah, I didn't want to be like, oh, damn it, they're Lil Wayne, y'all crazy for talking all that shit. But Lil Wayne has shown and proven.
Yeah,
he's only evolving into this more monstrous character if he continues on the trajectory that he's on. If somebody like you or somebody like a Future Wave, an Alchemist Lil Wayne project, think about the possibilities of what could possibly happen.
Oh my God.
If Lil Wayne came out
and Lil Wayne.
A big ghost Lil Wayne project?
It would sound crazy too because Lil Wayne is he'll rhyme on whatever. He's rhyming. Listen, he's rhyming over. He's rhyming over the drumless shit. Like Hot Wind is a drumless beat, right? Like, and he's going crazy on that.
Well, I guess there's a drum on there, but still,
Our single is. Oh man, that's a
come on, man.
With a deep cut.
Man, I was outside, bro. I was
outside. He was outside.
Absolutely, man. Come on, man. I'm single. Boy, that summer was wild. Anyway, I digress, man. Shout out Pinups.
But what? I know it's almost bath time. Baby. Let me ask you about this. This producer. You ever heard of K Murdoch? Back in the Ruckus days, it was a group called Panacea with Raw Poetic. And it sounded like video game beats, but the soundscape of it.
Oh my God! You just I feel like you did some Nardwuar shit to me. Like, no, you just made me. You just made me you just made me reach back into my. Yes, I am familiar with K Murdoch.
Yeah, I think they had 2 albums: a mine on a ship, or something like that. But before that was the Scenic Route. Those 2 albums, you put them together, is like the wildest ride climbing up or something. The Mine on a plane or ship or whatever, it's not online, it's on Bandcamp, but the Scenic Route. The soundscaping of the albums you have is on that level. And I think those are the 2 of the best soundscaping, I guess. I don't know, man. You put like Water for Chocolate, Black on Both Sides, the soundscaping of the level. It's like putting paragraphs together. You know what I'm saying? I think
I appreciate that. I'm anxious. I do not take that lightly. I really appreciate that. That's what I'm going for. Like, all right, so I'll just really quick, and we'll talk about this. I'm gonna book myself. I'm coming back. So this fall, this year, right, 2023, I had the Pro Dillinger that came out, Raheem Supreme, which Snake and Crane Secret, which was like,
I'm a Falcon. I'm a Falcon.
Really?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
It's fucking crazy shit. Shout out to Raheem Supreme, like
shout out Raheem Supreme,
and like we really put together. Like you want to talk about soundscaping? Like that's a project where we put together like a story. It's a loose concept. Like it's not like every single bar is about kung fu or anything like that. But like that's a project that like I sat down and was very intentional on putting together things that like lock together, key signatures locked together. Sonically, it felt cohesive, and then strung it together with like these life lessons and jewels that Raheem was spitting. And for me, it's one of my, not to say because I produced it, but like out of his catalog, I'm a big fan of his. Like the stuff he did with Davino is crazy. The stuff that he did with like Knack and stuff is crazy, and of course like Uncle John. But this project, like he has this joint on there. Cycles Carries On, where it's some shit I could play for my daughter, bro. Like just like in a sense of like listen to what this man is saying, like what he is trying to purvey in his raps, like the lessons that he learned from his people, and it's like very earnest, really straightforward, great rapping over like a fire athlete.
What up?
So that project, like I love that project.
I have to play that shit all day tomorrow. Thanks for telling me.
Daniel's son is coming in September. Gree. That project we worked on together. We've been working on that project since 2019. There's joints on there from 2019.
Okay.
So, and it was completed like all together, wrapped up in the fall. I would say the winter of this year. So 2022 winter. So like it's slow cooked. Like if to every New Orleans, Louisiana cooking reference y'all want to talk about, like as far as like slow cooked, like time laced joints, they knock as much as the shit that I have out. Like it's a really crazy project. Future Wave mixed and mastered it.
Okay.
And he, like, again, Future Wave being like the secret behind the scenes mentor, like he really made sure he was like, I'm going to put the effort that I would do on my projects into this. So when you're hearing this outing, it is with the blessing of Future Wave.
I loved our interview
and Carl
with him.
listened to it,
Cool.
so he can tell you.
Yeah.
If you have not heard it, Carl will let you know. Like,
Yes.
I put my foot, my ankle, and my elbow into it.
Carl.
So
I thought you got it.
No, I probably did. I probably fucked it up or some shit. Change diapers or some shit.
I would have been known, man. Danielson, one of my favorite MCs out here, man. I would have been known if I had that. Sorry,
Wise Press goes on.
It's
there.
not on you, WINO WILLY. It's on this guy Carl I know.
So you think it's gonna be out?
Mid-September, like all the way together, mid-September. I think.
Okay.
Like literally the middle of September. If I was gonna fuck it, September 15th.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. Okay, y'all get the exclusive. September 15th.
That's right.
It's on Tuesday, September 15th.
Can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to fucking
mark
hear
your calendars.
It's going to be on streaming services or just the selling, the vinyl?
On streaming services, everything.
Okay.
Y'all gonna get everything. There's going to be on streaming
this time. All right.
It's going to be on streaming. There will be a vinyl drop coming through Fuck Rap. And just it looks like that. We have tapes and CDs coming as well.
Yeah,
nice.
Just got a text. So if you're like
that CD, thank you.
Yeah, some folks are like, I want the CD. Yeah, the CD is.
I'm coming. A CD guy.
Yeah, you'll be very happy. The CDs are coming. And that project is. I can't even talk about it like all the way I want to. Like I'd rather everyone just listen to it. Like Daniel's son. When you step out, like, I would say like when he's with Future Wave, that's fucking Jordan and Pippen. as far as like you said, it's Gangstar level. Like it's like they were universally meant to make music together. Mm-hmm. So when you have someone who goes away from that, there's concerns about them not presenting all the way. Like the person outside of like Future Wave, the person I really want to see Danielson do a project with is DJ Muggs. Mm-hmm. I really want a Muggs Danielson.
That would be an incredible project.
And they did some stuff.
You heard that new Muggs project that just came out?
Yeah, bro.
Man, Soul Assassin 3. That sound, hey, yo, DJ Muggs, you are on top of your game right now, sir. Because that Soul Assassins 3, boy, shout out MC Ren.
Well, I will say
shout
this.
out Boldy, shout out Rome Streets. Hey, and everybody else on there too. Shout out Westside and Ghostface. Great album. Great fucking album.
I will say this about Grigri. A lot more people are going to understand why we fuck with you because
fair statement.
It's going to be a pivotal album of 2023.
I can't wait to hear it.
It's definitely going to be something that we're talking about at the end of the year.
I can't wait to hear it.
I would appreciate that. I'm. You know what? I want to say I agree. I agree with that statement. And you want to hear the craziest thing though? I'm going to say some like really pretentious shit. That's not even the craziest shit I have coming out this year.
That's dope. I'm ready for all of it.
Before we get in the fall, but yeah.
You can't tell us about. Yeah, go ahead.
This is like Christmas in September.
All right, I'll just give y'all a list. I got a compilation. I got a really crazy Billy Woods song on there.
Okay.
Like really nuts. Really like some shit. Like if you're like, I don't know how I feel about this man. You'll regardless of how you feel about him, it's a fuck winnable song. Like it's okay. He's another one of those diverse of dudes where dudes are like, it's crazy. Like it's, I did like an homage to like Blue Flowers by like Dr. Octagon on it.
I love Blue Flowers. Oh God,
it's nuts. You'll love it. Like it's one of those songs where you're like,
language, man.
Yeah, I got Spec to rap on there. That's crazy.
Okay,
Danielson's gonna be on there, and some other like the Booze Brothers. A bunch of folks are on this project, and I think we're looking at the end of fall, winter. So I got like my first like WINO WILLY album itself, like as like a one that I helmed and put together. And I just really I got like a bunch of like overseas shit. I got tapped in with like these dudes from England and UK. Shout out to Matt Vinyl Hunter. He got me like on like Sunny Jim, and I got some stuff coming with Sunny Jim probably in like 2024.
Nice.
There's a project with this dude Black Josh who's like works with Lee Scott and Blah Records, and they did like Glastonbury like with like 15,000 people playing like grimy WINO WILLY beats to the speakers and niggas jumping up and down and moshing. So the English people are it's nuts. Like I saw the video, I'm like, this is it's unreal. It was unreal.
That's so dope.
Shout out to it's frustrating though, because like I'm like, so the Europeans are gonna be out here jumping up and down to my shit, but I'm gonna
man, Jazz had to go overseas too, didn't it? Come on, man.
Yeah, I know,
it's all
but
right. It's the
cool.
legacy.
It's cool.
It's cool, man.
Cool. Again,
it's cool.
It goes back to the source. It's the source.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna say a name like WINO WILLY is right up the Brits' alley. So
yeah.
WINO WILLY, that sells. That definitely sells.
Yeah, they were like, out of everybody, like they, that I got some stuff coming from them in the fall. By the end of the year, I probably, when it's all said and done, I might have like 4 to 5 more projects coming out.
That's what's
nice.
That including the Danielson, and then 2024, like I got Jay Nice. I got a joint that's done with Jay Nice. That is.
Yeah, write that down so I can talk about it.
That's really fire.
Cookout. WINO WILLY, Jay Nice, because he's gonna be. I gotta be like WINO WILLY. I heard you guys the Jay Nice. Yeah, I'm at the cookout.
Jay Nice, like, yo, why you say that?
No, he mentioned it on it. He mentioned it on Twitter.
Man, shout out
He mentioned it on Twitter multiple times.
That's my man.
So
can't wait to hear that shit too.
Chico, He's in Atlanta with y'all. Big Chico. I'm working
Shout
on a
out
beat
Big
with him. I'm
Chico.
on his
Yep.
album.
Soul
We
guy.
released a joint that's on his joint Piff, which is like one of my joints. I think this is another. I'm not gonna mention him because I know how he be about mentioning shit. The dude, there's some folks that I have stuff coming with that they get sensitive when you mention their stuff before it comes out. So
Say less.
look at my
cool.
catalog.
We can respect that.
Look at my catalog and look who I produced for already, and there's
Say
more coming
less.
with them.
Understood.
But
Understood, sir.
From shout out to Sadu, he was like, "Be careful because people get real."
Yeah.
I like the stuff I have with them. I have
Say less.
and
You
I
ain't
would
gotta
like
say
for it to
nothing else.
come out. Y'all
You ain't gotta
look
say
at my
nothing else.
catalog. If you're tapped in, you know who I'll be producing for. I
indeed,
got a
true
lot more
indeed.
coming with those gentlemen.
Indeed.
Great.
And then I think hopefully I got some shit. I did some shit with Pharaoh Monch, but I don't know if it's gonna come out. So
You hear that, Low?
I don't know if it will come out. I hope.
I hope so too, man. That's some
I
legendary
don't
shit.
know.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
Vinny Paz. I did some joints with Vinny Paz that are gonna come out.
Shout out Vinny
Damn.
Paz, man. Hopping up
You've been
again.
working, man. You've been working.
It's been a long year. This is like one of those, like, let me just name these and we'll talk more about them as they come out. Like, I
Part 2.
enjoyed the journey more than the destination. You know what I mean?
True
So
indeed.
y'all,
the
like,
trick,
for
though.
those of you who are like here for the WINO WILLY, tell me about I got a bio online somewhere. Y'all can read the bio online. I'd rather
indeed.
y'all
True indeed.
hear about
And,
fatherhood and
anime
trans
and video
and
games
anime and like
and
thought and like
true
culture.
indeed. In all honesty, that's
Fucking
one of
right.
the reasons why I like doing this.
Yep.
Immensely like doing this to get to know you and the stuff
The
that you
people.
articulated and said is like pretty dope, man. I know it's bath time. You know what I'm saying? Word. You know, this is my struggle too. Right now, my daughter will probably be like, go night night. I'm like, oh shoot, really? Hey, let's go. Cause like, she's like 29 months. And like, it's cool to see articulates now that what she
You
wants.
mean she's 2
You know
years old?
Yeah, but you know,
she almost 3.
Yeah, she about to be
next April.
36
Yeah,
is
she
3.
coming. She coming.
Yeah.
36 is 3.
God damn.
It was almost there.
Yeah.
We going on to y'all. We real close. Mine's 21.
Oh, and
Right there.
My boy just turned 1.
Yeah, it's one. Yeah.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
future,
you're gonna enjoy.
in
Listen,
the future,
you're gonna enjoy. You're gonna enjoy that time, like the runaround time. You get right into that like runaround and like them handing you things and them speaking to you and like being excited to be around you. You're gonna love that. Like it's
true.
I would give up if I had to give up everything musically just to continue to be a great dad. I would. Like I love
Me
music.
too. Man, we'll see.
I love
Luckily,
music.
you don't have to.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's the best part.
That's the best part.
The best part.
All my enjoyment in things, I can still do.
Here's what I'm struggling with. My daughter doesn't like hardly any of the music that I listen to unless it's like old like let's see, Elijah Wan by Makami and Fahim. She likes the older like 70s sounding stuff. Cause whenever she was born, we played I think it was Ghetto Love by Makami. It sounded like elevator music, I guess. Like all the time we was playing Makami. And so like her mom plays 70s music. So she doesn't like really any Freddie Gibbs or no Ghostface, no she don't like none of the stuff that bumps.
She's 2.5. Give her some
she don't
time.
like no stuff that doesn't bump. She doesn't like, but 70s music and stuff she loves, but she sings all the time. So nothing that bumps she likes. She don't like none of that stuff that bumps. And she don't even go like this. I'd be like, go like this, JC. She'd be like, yeah, she ain't with it.
No,
yeah,
my little one's the opposite. The bass drum is knocking, and she's like, she's the complete opposite. She likes them. Yeah, if it's not hitting, then we having a problem. Like
my baby likes Baby Shark. She going to Baby Shark.
Tell me she fuck with Gracie. She don't fuck with Gracie then. She don't fuck with Gracie.
She does, but not really. She messes with Akili and me. Okay. That's an African little girl. Little girl. She likes to learn. She likes to count. She likes to know all. She knows all her numbers already. Skipping numbers. 1 through 20. She does that already. ABC,
Ooh.
skipping ABC. She knows that already. You know what I'm saying? She's really on it. She recognizes words. I can point to
Ooh.
anything in here. And she knows colors. Like about 12 animals. She makes the sounds, I guess. But yeah, an ant don't make no noise. But on Killy, it says, "What an ant make?" She said, "Yip yip." I'm like, an ant don't make that noise. I never seen no. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's wild.
Yeah, but they're African kids and they play with rocks and stuff. And Zebra, the Z's like Z. She says Z instead of Z sometimes. I'm like, yo, it's a
That's
Z. We're
funny.
Americans. Yeah, but it's
that's African, bro. That's
word.
South
So maybe my
African.
kid, your kid make the beats and play the beats, and my kid will sing. You know what I'm saying? My baby mom's a singer. Well, so she sings hard, yo. So yeah, that works. Before we head out of here for bath time, Carl, what you got, bro?
Look, I was really, really looking forward to this episode because, like I said, I've been a fan for a while, and I've been waiting for you to catch the wave that you deserve to catch. And this year has really proven, to a lot of people that you've got a lot in the bag, and I'm ready for it. I love the fact that you shouted out AJ as well, because I'm a fan of AJ Hall as well. And Future Wave talked about him as well. So I think he needs a lot of recognition because he's creating.
Shout out to Future Wave. Thank you, Future Wave.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark Specs.
I think one of the most impressive things is again, like what you had said earlier about wanting to share, record sources and sample sources and being open and all that. I think we have a lot of people that are really open to that, and people like Future Wave that, definitely lend talent. And I know Bozak has been important in those kind of things too. And just the more of those people, the larger this culture can grow. And so I just appreciate you so much. And I'm looking forward to part 2.
I appreciate all y'all. Thank you for having me on.
Hold up. Primo Jack, what we got, bro?
Yo, man. I mean, you again, Carl, you're on a streak. You summed it up exactly perfectly as if I was the one speaking the words that you said. But I really just want to thank you so much, WINO WILLY, for understanding that you're a conduit of the source and really moving with that intention of expressing things in a legitimately knowledgeable and informed way. I really am just blown away by your humility and the fact that you spent probably at least an hour just shouting out people, shouting out Future Wave, shouting out Mark Speck, and just the opportunities that you said that they've put you into. But not only that, but the people that you work with, the Pro Dillingers, the Raheem Supreme, just people that you've been around and the influences that you found from your wife's family or from your family. I mean, it's evident that there's much more to you than just somebody who's sitting around beating on a drum machine. And it's been evident ever since the first time I think I heard any WINO WILLY beats. But I've always been a fan, and you've seen me. I pop into your beat sessions when you go live on IG. You're not somebody who's keeping the flame from the people, man. You're Prometheus out here. You know what I mean? You're sharing your knowledge. You're enlightening people. You already said reference. That you'd let people hop in your DMs and say, yeah, hey, help me with this beat. You're not a stingy person. I mean, you started out Stolen Drums, who also has that same sort of openness for sharing what they're doing, and they're not selfish or greedy with the fact that they've discovered nuclear energy. They're sharing it for the prosperity of mankind. And yeah, it's just evident. So I'm just happy that you decided to stop by on the show, man. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to hear the new Daniel son. I'm very excited to hear your contributions to the Umbrella album as well.
Stay on them about it. About that, I'm sure that
and everything else as well. But
there's a lot of
stuff coming. I can't wait to hear it.
Coming.
Can't wait to hear it.
Next time we speak, we'll touch on it. If I leave with like a final part in, right? Yeah.
See, I did a good one. I got a good one, Lukey. I did it. That's appropriate.
Like we were talking, discussing about the different forces that.
Yeah, we've been talking some deep shit.
Impacts like us as people. Um, the reason that I don't like it just comes from hip hop, bro. Like I grew up listening to 5%ers talking about
There you
the,
go.
you know, the uneducated 85, the 10 that are trying to keep the 85 ignorant, and the
That's
5
right.
that are
That's right.
Trying to set it free.
given the
Yeah.
wisdom, right, and set the freedom, right? Like if you are actively trying to hide anything and not sharing knowledge, like is that not wickedness? Right?
These
Like
10%ers, huh? Yeah.
there's not, right? Is that not wickedness?
Yeah.
So that's the ethos I have when it comes to this. Like
I'm 100%
I'm gonna
with
do what
you.
I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do my best to
man.
master my craft and to move forward in a way that is as righteous as I can be, but not only that, just in a way that's like enlightening by the way that I share. So if folks are curious about something, I try my best to answer those questions. Like there's certain questions like, like I'm not gonna say, all right, if I went and got this break from somebody's whatever,
Right.
that could implicate me in something. But outside of that, I'll give you, I'll say go to this, go to that, and go check this out, and go shop with this person. I don't.
See
Every
what you
time I
find.
make a beat, that's what I'm gonna say. See what you find. You want
Yeah.
this drum break? AJ Hall has the drum break. I didn't do anything to it. Like go, go do what you need to go do.
Yeah.
And I just want to continue to operate in that way, and as a producer and as a human. So
So
I
indeed.
appreciate y'all for letting me come on here and share, and y'all taking your time to discuss things with me.
That's awesome, man. And
Absolutely.
it's so bugged out to me that someone in Israel, a kid, says, WINO Willy. That means you're doing a great job, bro. You know what I'm
There
saying?
you go.
Hip hop
That's true.
travels since the MySpace age. You know what I'm saying? Like you're sitting next to somebody, you know what I'm saying, and you ain't even right there. And that's the beauty about this whole generation or this whole abyss. We're sitting next to people that aren't there, but we're right there. No homo, we holding hands, you know what I'm saying? And like we arms around each other and we brothers, you know what I'm saying? And that, yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. Internet is connecting us all, social media is connecting us all with the merch stuff. And Cookout is over with. September 15th, Gree, fuck the rap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Be ready for that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. That's 2 weeks.
That's a week after this come
It's a
out.
week. It's a week.
A week.
1 week. You just gotta wait
week.
7 days.
Yeah, 7 days.
And
7
then you
days.
too can live like Carl.
True indeed.
Living the good life.
I deserve that. I deserve that.
Yeah, true indeed. But and all this stuff that WINO WILLY and me, we A-likes, man. We like a lot of nerd stuff, but yeah, we'll still punch you in the fucking face, yo. Yeah. And we make it home to our kids.
Facts.
You don't think Primo Jab or I will punch somebody in the face? I got comic books.
Word.
He's a collector. We'll fuck some shit up.
But Jamal,
I'm a lover, baby.
Yeah. He probably thought Beyblade was
okay, well,
whack
I'll
too.
fuck some shit up.
Yeah, I know you'll fuck
I
some
got
shit
people
up.
that do my work
But
for
Primo
me.
Jab. Yeah, he Digimon. That was hard coming out that first season. Yo, pause. Word. We already know Carl's. We already know Carl's gonna fuck some shit up. You want to see a man bleed out on his front lawn. Yeah, you want to shoot somebody and make him bleed out, yo.
Is today the day?
Uncle Carl. Yeah, Uncle Carl is protecting Callie and JC. That's right. And Primo Jab hates Blade. Yeah, hates Blade. Hates Digimon. Fuck that. Yo, boom. Remember, Gree.
The Beyblade game was fired. Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. Y'all can't front. It didn't last that long.
Go watch. Go watch. If you a rapper, go watch Evangelion and go fuck your shit up. Peace.
Yeah, it really is, yo. Yeah, that's how we're gonna end it right there. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Next week,